Hello everyone. Hello Twitch, hello YouTube. Welcome to part 2 of Pale Draconian Fire Elementalist of Dithmenos. We continue from the Orcish mines. We have acquired a demon blade. There's a chart up of my current character. I guess I can hold on to the... I will hold on to this minus telly axe, possibly, you know, for Zod or something like that. Just pop up. Enjoying these streams not starting at 3 a.m. Well, that must be your time, Teapot Dehedron. They don't start at 3 a.m. my time, although I've had some go until my time, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Usually it's pretty rare, but yeah, I've started them earlier in the afternoon. This is when I would ideally do regular streaming, if I could, at least for now. That might change depending on work stuff. Like I might have to shift them to start later in the afternoon. But I don't like starting like at 10, you know, late in the evening my time because, well, I guess one, there's less of an audience overall. You get some people who are not, you know, who are able to catch the stream who wouldn't be otherwise. That's always a thing. But overall, there's less of an audience because, you know, North American hours are the, you know, where you get the most people. Yeah. Yep. Well, that's why I do make the VODs. I do upload the VODs to YouTube. Of course, you can watch them after the stream as well, but the YouTube ones will be completely unmuted. Oh, enjoy your subscriber badge, by the way. Your orange demonic rune of Zot for how many months? That's for... Doesn't mouse over, huh? Really, chatty? I think that's 3 months. But I added the subscriber badges. The Orb of Zot that I use for 1 year, I don't think looks great, but it's kind of, it's hard to find a more appropriate badge, and it's also tricky to even find a DCSS tile that formats down because it needs to be 18 by 18, and a lot of them are very tricky to make that size. So I wanted to use runes, but most of them don't work very well. The demonic ones happen to be small enough where they work pretty well and only get a tiny bit cropped. And also Lam Loban's magical rune is like the one for 6 months, and that one basically was the perfect size. The Orb of Zot I had to scale down, but it's the kind of tile that it is it actually worked. The others didn't look good if you had to scale them. They looked really pretty awful. You had no idea what that was. That's a problem too. That's funny. I could probably make a... Well, the console glyphs are kind of too big. But that would be a funny... That would be funny to use actual glyphs. Well, this character is now focusing 100% long blades. That's what they'll... We're going to go do... looks like dungeon 13 through 15. And that will probably get us... All that XP will likely get us, well, at least 10 long blades. I'm not exactly sure how far we'll get. Min delay of this is only 14. And with that, we won't have to use quite as much magic all the time, which will be nice. We'll still have Bolt of Fire. I have a lot of, well, I had more. Right now, I guess I have on Wizardry. Guess I took off a bunch of int stuff. I only have 25 now. That's actually not too bad for this stage of the game. My shield has a little ways to go as well. But it's bigger priority to get. Bolt of Fire is castable, and as are my other spells. We also have shoals, which with fire magic is a little bit easier. Okay. I am only keeping... What is my MR? It's kind of difficult to imagine actually needing this cloak in any reasonable way. See Invis boots. There are some monsters, they go Invis. It can be kind of a hassle to, you know, it might be nice to start the fight with them, provided, of course, that I'm not going to use any spells at all, which that kind of... it's kind of unfortunate how that worked out, but that's how it worked out. Enchant armor. How much do I have? Of course, wow, I've actually quite a few. Got all my slots enchanted for the most part, except for cloak. I could just go ahead and enchant the cloak. Shield of resistance is probably going to be the shield I keep the whole game. That's pretty convenient resistances on those slots, and I can't enchant it, so I could just go ahead and enchant up my cloak right now. I mean, saving it, the only reason I'd want to save it is if I found a nice ego cloak that didn't have full enchant on it, so... Oh. Interesting. Try some bolt of fire. Wow, wrecked. How's this guy doing? Flames. Fireball these guys, I get. Well, I could fireball them. Just sticky flame them. Hitting this guy. Interesting little entry vault here. One shot. Pack is full, huh? Time to ID these pots. Potions of magic, that's pretty nice. Bolt of fire on that guy. He's a little bit scary for us to melee. Not, I could actually melee him okay. I didn't need. Otherwise, not really gonna need that. Nope, that's not what we wanted to. What's bolt fire? Bolt fire is still pretty bad, so eventually we'll probably switch to the ring of fire just to get some, or you know, maybe we'll run into a good ring of slang or something. Nice blank, buddy. How we doing? Long blades only at 5. Maybe we'll only get to like... maybe we'll actually only get to just to 10, but that'll be a huge benefit. We'll definitely get the rest of the way there. Lightning Rod. Do I have any Evo? I do. That's a good item. Roxanne. Don't really have any particular reason to fight Roxanne, so she will stay behind her exclusion, sorry. The opposite of inclusion. Packet's still full. Guess I'm gonna have to drop that lig pot. Oh, what would I rather have? Amulet of Rage is, yeah. There should be a thing for Ellie. It should be like some sort of mechanic for Ellie. It seems like it would be a good way to make people enjoy that god more. So I have to decide, do I want to wear a Guardian Spirit amulet? It's not a bad amulet for this character. Amulet of Rage is actually fairly good. It's around the time when I don't necessarily like using Rage a lot, when I have, you know, spells and other stuff. So there is a trade-off with using Guardian Spirit if you get stuck without, you know, if you take a big hit, it's going to shut out some abilities potentially, in that it could cost you a turn to co-op a magic pot, for instance. I do have a lot of magic pots, so that's pretty sweet. But on the other hand, it's 28. I'm possibly not going to be training too much more spell casting, so it's sort of a convenience type of thing. I guess I'll not for now. I'm not sure how high my... Wow, nice dex. 5 dex only gives me... my dodging is not terribly high, but 5 dex only gave me... How much did it give me, actually? Was that 2? That was 2, right? Yeah. 5 dex only, so that's an idea of how much more EV I would get from taking a couple more points of dex. I would like to train some more dodging. This character is, oh, faults, that's why. Well, nobody's really lining up. Only monster that sort of matters here is the Necromancer. And this wizard, if I can kill the wizard. Did the wizard blink? There it is. Wizard's about the only thing I want to get rid of. The rest of the stuff is just junk. Fire. Nice hit. So how am I gonna go? I do have pretty low strength actually, now that I look at this. I actually am gonna take strength. I didn't realize how low it actually is. It's pretty low strength. So that's 2.5% more damage. I guess I'm sort of targeting around if I can get like 30 EV or so, that would be cool. She is. Didn't work. So what I want is just sort of set up a block. I'm not too enthused about... Oh, that's a complication. That, there we go. That's good. Block her for now. What I need to do is get rid of this. There we go. Ah, okay, so this is one of those faults. We got all the stuff coming from multiple directions. So basically, I don't really want to be here, standing in the middle of all this. I don't have Swift. Don't necessarily want to burn a haste potion for this. We're not really in any huge kind of danger. I also don't have a billion teleport scrolls, so I'm not going to go crazy. We're definitely going to just fall back into this nice little corridor and set up a lot of like silly nonsense. Involving I have regen? I do. Miscast. Well, sadly, Louise didn't want to cooperate. If she could have showed up behind a bunch of stuff, I could have gotten rid of her in some cloud damage, but it's not going to be the case. There she goes. Okay. I don't have Aralek, and she can't hit me with that. So these are the only... Oh, and I do have that. That's right. I have the No, I don't. All right. And no other source. All right. That's good to know. Just I'm mostly thinking if I run into Nicola that I want to... So those ants aren't going to do anything but block her for a while, and that's about it. And she can definitely banish me with only 2, yeah, 20%, so not great odds there. If I get banished, I can escape, but I'd prefer not to get banished if I can. This might be a... Berserk isn't so hot against her either. I'm mostly looking here, not because I feel like I'm in any great danger, but I just want to make the fight go as smoothly as possible and avoid the stuff that can become somewhat dangerous. Going to the Abyss is something I prefer to not do if I can. So it's possible there might be a net in our future. And I actually might rage. Although she does have blink. It can be kind of yeah, an abundance of caution. Oh, there she blinked already. Okay. Alright, so that missed. Let's just try some straight. Okay, that worked. And if the net had worked, it would have been a little bit helpful. It would have given us more actions, but I just kind of elected to roll with it because 20% and she has to actually cast it, and I'm in melee range. Would have been very inconvenient if I had been Abyss. I wouldn't have been very happy about it, but I could have lived. Single might pot and some evoker trash. Evokers weren't even really necessary in any particular way. There's the brand weapon. Protection. You know, it's not the worst result for a character like this that would like to have some AC. Might sit on that for a while. Especially as we're training long blades and I'm using this, I'm taking a bit more hits due to my delay. Hello. That's a nice one. Alright. We'll take that. Go enchant that one up. Only thing that would be better than that would be a Cloak of Invis. So at least that vault had some nice stuff. Ultra lazy way to deal with unseen horrors. Don't even bother with sticky flame. Draw magical power. Drop the dex ring. Ooh, it's a nice little ring. It's a nice little combo we got going on here. I will stick with that for now. Lose Bolt of Fire, I will train up shields and get Bolt of Fire back. Oh. Boy, I'm not really paying attention to this fight, am I? Boom. All the heal wounds this game. That's how the Dith thing, you can kill a lot of stuff still with Puff of Flame. Most people aren't, you're probably not used to killing two-headed ogres with Puff of Flame, but with the Dith range bonus. Yep. All the enchant armor and we're Draconian. Figures. Shadow forming and Skulls of Torment. That's not a bad idea. Really? For some reason I really wanted to cast that. Mana Viper, uh-oh. Look out. It's a glowing shapeshifter, alright. These guys hit me a little bit. So we did get exactly to 10. It does not double sticky flame, no. Been using it with throw flame quite a lot. Now, once I get bolt of fire back, it will be giving me some more oomph with that spell. And it's sort of nice because that's like less fire magic that I have to worry about training sooner to get damage out of it. You know, I mean, it only damages the one target, but that's still pretty good. I find it's really good with throw flame. It makes that spell a lot more powerful, and that spell is both very cheap and has very good range, and so it feels really nice once you get up to, like, I don't know, 4 stars of piety or so. Feels like you're really strong. I think around now, yeah, I think so. It's sort of like a battle sphere that's less annoying, which is kind of nice. And Stone Arrow, yeah, that would be another good combo. I guess it is time for shoals, right? Yeah, I saw that formula. It seems very breakpointy, that formula, which I didn't really look at it. I just noticed the way it was calculated, and I was like, huh, didn't realize that. This guy has so I'm actually gonna double train this. We'll see what this looks like at about 12. Obviously that should be 14. So our other branch was Snake, which, hey, it's Mikey's favorite mob. Goodbye, my friend. We'll also get back more EV from training shields up a little bit more. We need that 15. This is why you might see a character like this just stay in a buckler, because the cost, you can see, is pretty intensive. Pit mods and a siren that actually yank you forward. I too know ranged combat, Mr. Fawn. I too am a ranged expert. So yeah, the steam from having fire magic is pretty nice in this branch. You can block Los pretty easily. And you get all this additional damage. So I'm actually going to continue to use Throw Flame quite a bit, the level 2 spell, just because of its extra damage. And because I am, after all, a caster. A blaster caster. I have my spells online. It's a nuclear device.